toddler due to malnutrition while in the womb or during early childhood. Many efforts to prevent stunting in toddlers have been carried out, but most only involve mother as the main caregiver, even though in this era more and more working mother. The trend of parenting toddler by grandparents globally reached 40% and 58%, and parental care by grandparents has become a worldwide phenomenon along with the increasing number of working mothers. Coinciding grandparent improves children growth and development, so good co-parenting is needed to avoid the negative impact. So, structural form of joint care is needed to organize care between mother and grandparent so that the growth and development of children is not disturbed if, even if their mother is working. A structured grandparent co-parenting relationship model for organizing parenting parent, mother, and grandparent in previous research has been found, but its effectiveness in parenting care for stunting prevention has not been proven. The aim of this study identifies stunting prevention by grandparents before and after being within the parent-grandparent co-parenting model intervention, and we analyzing the effect of the parent-grandparent co-parenting on behavior in preventing stunting. That we measure the parenting stunting with feeding behavior. The research design in this study is quasi-experiment. Then the sample of the study is 60 grandparents who care for toddler in working area in 2 public health centers in Surabaya, Indonesia. The sample selection was carried out using the purposive technique and with the criteria inclusion and exclusion. The variable of this study, we have two variable independent. Variable independent and variable independent. In variable independent variable is intervention for that we have give the module of parent-grandparent co-parenting relationship. That the content of the module is consists of prevention of stunting based on the health belief model, and then parent-grandparent co-parenting relation. That the module, the intervention we give the once a week for 4 weeks, using the health education, counseling method, and coaching method to the grandparent to I hope to increase the knowledge of the preventing behavior. The result of this study, I'm sorry, is this is the error table, but I want to put the category good. It should be in below, and not good is should be in putting in above. Based on the table, we can see that between the treatment group and control group, it's equal difference for the value of pre and post test design. But we can see that the treatment group is the value of average is higher than the control group. It means that there is a compare between the treatment group and control group, and based on the analysis statistic, we can find with the Mann-Whitney test, we can see the significant level is 0.000 for the compare between the treatment group and the control group. The discussion of this result, I think the co-parenting model is good based on 6 domain, namely co-parenting agreement, co-parenting closeness, exposure of child to conflict, co-parenting support, and then exposure to partner parenting and division of labor. Parent and grandparent co-parenting module intervention can invite or educate audience with the aim of social benefits such as increasing knowledge about the preventing stunting behavior, and then there's impact on emergency of awareness of attitude and change in behavior. Health education with parent-grandparent co-parenting module is considered very effective in providing information to grandparents. And the conclusion of the study, the parent-grandparent co-parenting relationship module based on the health belief model is a health education medium that can increase the knowledge, attitude, and action of grandparents to preventing stunting behavior in toddlers especially. If there is a positive co-parenting relationship between parent and grandparent, then the role of the grandparent as the main caregiver for the toddler when the mother is alive working will not interfere with the attachment between parent and grandparent. I hope the recommendation of this study, the model that can use in this study as one of alternative that used to health center, public health center, especially to preventing stunting behavior in parent and grandparent. This is acknowledgement and this is a reference. I think thank you. It's the last question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yuni, for the very interesting presentation. So before, maybe previously I forgot to remind, each of you have 5 minutes of presentation. So in that 5 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes will be your presentation, then Q&A. Okay, so thank you for finishing on time. Okay, so before we proceed, maybe I can pass to Dr. Siti for a question.
Assalamualaikum. I have two questions. The first one is how you develop the health education model.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Siti.
You can call me Siti.
Only Siti. Okay, this study we can based on the previous study. I have found the model of the preventing stunting behavior with based on the theoretical concept of health belief model that consists of if I want to improve the preventing stunting for the mother and the grandmother, we have to improve the individual belief. That's indicator in the health belief model, and then we action that the belief model is indicator for action that in action we can implement the co-parenting relationship that have 6 domains, and I explained before. That's the action.
The 6 domains, you get it from where?
From the health belief model and
model.
concept, the theoretical concept of co-parenting relationship.
Okay, the second one, the second question. How you choose the samples in your studies? The inclusion criteria.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Siti. There are the inclusion criteria. I choose the grandparent that the selection sample was very of using purposive sampling technique. That the inclusion criteria is a grandparent who has care for toddler because the mother left working for at least 8 hours or more in the formal informal sector. And then the grandparent who have care for toddler at least 6 months. And the exclusion criteria, I think, is blind grandparent. Yes, disability for grandparent, especially not blind to read the instrument that we have to use the grandparent.
So instead you have to go one house to house to get the samples.
Yes,
You ask
door to door.
door to door.
Yes, because I implement my intervention is coaching and then pendampingan coaching to grandparent in the public health center area.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any question from the floor? Okay, please. We limit to one question.
Yes.
Because of time.
In the interest of time, we sorry.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Ms. Yuli. I'm interested in your research. What are the limitation in your research? Give me for information. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for the question. Thank you for the limitation of my study. I think due the sample of the study is the grandparent is almost the grandparent is about 60 years old. That's the decrease of the maybe hearing and visualization. So a little bit difficult for us to give the explanation about the information what give I do in the intervention. But it is solved because my team and my team researcher coaching one by one. So read to instrument that what the grandparent give answer. I think is a limitation my study.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Yuni. And also, I would like to wish you all the best for your future research. And so, your patience in determining the elderly grandparents. I know it takes a lot of effort for this time.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So,
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
with that, we shall move with the next presenter. Okay. So, for the next one, we will have Dr. Chichi Heriani, who's going to present with us determinants of the quality of COVID-19 surveillances at public health sectors across sectional studies in several districts in Indonesia. That, Dr. Chichi, the floor is yours. You may start once you're ready.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say thanks for your coming in my presentation. The Honorable Dr. Siti Jaya Hussain from the Department of Nursing, University Kebangsaan Malaysia, and then the Honorable Dr. Lisa from University Paranaparah Malaysia. Before starting my presentation, let me introduce myself. My name is Cecep Heriana. I'm a PhD from the University College, PhD on Science program. In this opportunity, I would like to presentation on the topic of presentation, determinant of quality of COVID-19 surveillance at public centers for sectional study in several districts in Indonesia. My presentation consists of the following parts. First, I will explain you about background of study, and then objective the study, then about material method. After that, I will explain about result and investigation, and then conclusion and recommendation. For introduction, we know that quality of surveillance epidemiology system is important for pandemic management because surveillance is a pillar of controlling of the COVID-19 pandemic. The quality of surveillance COVID-19 in various different countries, including Malaysia, is still a serious problem, which is related to data quality influenced by various institutional factor. Limited evidence regarding the determinant of quality of COVID-19 surveillance. The data at the public health center in Indonesia in mind related to surveillance officer supporting facility and quality control and supervision. So the study's finding will inform the decision to prioritizing improving COVID-19 surveillance and the capacity at public health centers in Indonesia. I want to move on the next part. I will explain my objective in conducting this research. The objective of this research are divided into general objective and specific objective. The general objective is analyzing a determinant of the quality COVID-19 surveillance in public health center in several districts in Indonesia. A specific objective to analyze the relationship between gender and the quality of COVID-19 surveillance in public health center. Number two, to analyze the relationship between education level and the quality of surveillance COVID-19 in public health center. Number three, to analyze the relationship between knowledge and the quality of COVID-19 surveillance in the public health center. And to analyze the relationship between workload and the quality of COVID-19 in public health centers. The research method. The research method, the type of correlational descriptive research with cross-sectional design. The study utilizes a total number of public health centers, were including based on the competence and inclusion criteria. And then the research instrument was questionnaire. The time of research, the research time start from 1st November 2022 to 13th January 2023. For participants admitted public health center worker in several districts and variable independent, variable gender education, and then level education workload and dependent variable quality COVID-19 surveillance. And then the data analysis carried out with varied analysis, and with test using data. For univariate results, characteristic by gender, the results of the analysis respondent characteristics for gender, so that most of the surveillance officer are female, as many as 60%, and male as many as 40%. For educational level, based on the result of the study, most of them have a bachelor level education as much as 70%, diploma as much as 28.4%, and master as much as 0.6%. Supervision, the study referred the 85.8% workers that good supervision and 14.2% of workers that failed supervision. For knowledge, the result showed that 7.9% of the study's subject had good knowledge, 58.9% had applied knowledge, and 53.2% had good knowledge. For workload, the result of the analysis respondent characteristics of that most the surveillance officer has good workload, 51%. Facility readiness, based on the result, it can be seen that for the facility readiness, 89.5% ready, 7.5% ready, and 3.2% less ready. Bivariate result, based on the result, bivariate analysis with the T-square test, so that bivariate analysis, we value socio-demographic variable, sex and education, we value 0.654, we value 0.282, and related to the quality of surveillance or dimension. For knowledge variable, value of B 0.200 is obtained, which means there is more relationship between knowledge and quality surveillance. On the other hand, in the workload variable, supervision and readiness of surveillance facility value obtained respectively with value 0.00, with value 0.00, and with value 0.00. Meaning the variable workload supervision facility readiness significantly relative.
It's 5 minutes, so you can continue.
Okay. For this question, the result of the bivariate analysis of that gender, education, knowledge, and related to quality surveillance, dimension and workload the variable supervision, readiness surveillance facility significant relative to quality surveillance. And this result, the study show that supervision district officer may namely monitor quality system, so that result positive impact surveillance, and facility are one the element needed to deliver the health service to as a good result adequate facility and needed to notice and function for all. For conclusion and recommendation, conclusion, there is no relationship between gender, education, and knowledge variable in quality surveillance. However, the variable workload, supervision, and facility readiness significantly relative to quality of surveillance. And the last recommendation need to regulate to the workload of surveillance officer with strict supervision and support by adequate facility to support surveillance operation. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Chacha. So, thank you for the interesting study. My first question to you will be, who is exactly recruited for your studies? Who are the subjects?
Subjects. My subject in the study, public health surveillance officer.
Okay, so when you tell officers, what are their main role during the COVID-19 surveillances? What is their main task? Apakah kerja utama mereka semasa COVID? Sebab
Yes.
sekarang Dr. Cecep punya study focusing on bukan on COVID-19 patient kan? Ini more on pegawai-pegawai yang terlibat.
Yes.
Okay. So apakah tugas pegawai tersebut untuk kajian Dr. Cecep?
Yes. Jadi semua pegawai yang terlibat masuk di studi saya. Jadi apakah background nursing, midwifery, or public health officer included for my research.
Okay, mainly on the admin part lah, those who are working, dealing with the patients. Okay, my next question, soalan kedua. Bagaimanakah metodologi yang Dr. Cecep gunakan untuk menganalisa bahagian fair dan good? Apakah kriteria-kriteria yang terlibat in your results part? Adakah fair, good and so on? So how do you determine that? Ada apa-apa skala ke?
Yes. Saya menggunakan skala berdasarkan mean, median, kriteria, good, fair, or this ready, good, ready, or ready.
Because this is more to affirmation, more on emotions, how they are going to score. It's not a quantitative. So usually you have 1 to 5 support, I don't support, paling suka, paling tak suka, that 5 range. Dr. Cecep, kalau paling suka is 5, then you gradually go down. So I'm wondering if you use that scale for your study. Yes. Okay. Maybe next time you can think about
Okay,
that.
thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Any questions from the floor? Okay, yes, please come forward.
Okay, my question, what are the inclusion and exclusion criteria you study, Mr. Teja? Thank you.
For this research, inclusion criteria, number 1 is Public Health Center's complete report from March 2020 to March 20 and 21. Number 1. Number 2, respondent who are willing to be respondents. For exclusion criteria, surveillance officers are not available in Public Health Center. Number 2, surveillance officer currently receiving further education or training for more than 1 month. And last, place Public Health Center as an auxiliary public health center. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I hope it answered your question. I hope he answered your question. Next, we have one more.
Okay, thank you. Mungkin I want to ask for you why the level of education are not related with the presentation.
Okay, thank you. In the result of my presentation, level education is not related about during a pandemic. Health worker with different background educations, a lot of training to support skill in surveillance public health center. There will be increasing the quality of surveillance in public center. Okay.
I hope he answered your question. Thank you so much, Dr. Cecep. Yes, I agree with you. When it's is a pandemic and in emergency setting. So it always a comparison between education and also the skills. Okay, so sometimes we will be having certain qualification, but how we are going to perform in emergency situation is a totally different scenario. Okay, with that, I wish you all the best for your future studies. Okay, thank you, Dr. Chacha.
Thank you.
Okay, so with that, we shall move to the next one, Dr. Siti. Okay, so I would like to welcome Dr. Suci Amin with the research entitled The Implementation of. Okay, so this is the title. Okay, so there are some changes. Systemic review on the function of nurse managers to improve the performance of nurses from Pekanbaru Hospital. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Honorable Chairman-Person Dr. Siti dan Dr. Mary Nisa, I want to my presentation about the systematic review on the function of the nurse management of improve the performance of the nurse. This is my background. Hospital in Pekanbaru, I went to Sansani Hospital, hospital status, hospital bed capacity, kemudian hospital to bed capacity, medical surveillance merupakan bagian dari the managerial function of organization planning. And then quantity of the budget, medical speaker, impact of the managerial function of budgeting. And then function of staff the nurse, it means the managerial function of the delegation. So as my question, we can the nurse management improve the performance of the nurse. This is my systematic review method. A compressed research academic database, including the PubMed, CNI Hub, Scopus was conducted using 11 keyword and such as hospital management, management of nursing, management and nursing management. Study published English between 1918 and 2023 were conditioned for inclusion. A total of seven relevant to article we related and analyzed for this systematic review. This is my research study with the years. Abed et al. 2022 country study designed a qualitative sample size 20 nurse and improve the nurse of performance professional recognition. And then other et al. 29 Turkey quantitative design and sample for the 5 nurse and improve the nurse performance authentic leadership. And then give the et al. 2020 South Africa design of observational study sample size 81 nurse and optimal staffing. And then et al. 2018 Korea design methodology and sample size 105 nurse and improved nurse performance as over an effectiveness. And then Zaromba et al. Gazal equipping design for cross-sectional sample 39 to 9 nurse and improving nurse performance hospital improvement. And then Sunagawa et al. 2022 in country in Japan designed by cross-sectional sample size 115 nurse and improved nurse interpersonal relationships. And then Card et al. 2020, country and USA designed for cross-sectional and sample size 20 and improvement nurse performance patient-centered care. And then how can the nurse management improve? By embracing nursing management function, it can foster an improvement of efficiency, collaboration, and continued improvement, leading to sustainable growth and competitive advantage that improve the nurse performance. Understanding and apply the nurse management function enable the management to navigate and complexity, enhance and productivity and activity desired outcome. Professional recognize automatic leadership, operational staffing, and offer effectivity, hospital performance, interpersonal relationship, dan partner correction care. This is my referensi. Okay, thank you for the attention.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Suti. We just finished on time. Okay, so I will pass it to Dr. Siti for the question and answer.
Thank you, Nisha. Okay, all right. I just want to know, why don't you use the Prisma guideline for the systematic review? Yes. If we do the systematic review, it's much easier. We do the Prisma, the diagram. Okay, all right. Okay, next time, I mean, if you do the systematic review, it's much clear, okay? Okay, lebih jelas dengan you letak Prisma. Iya, sangat jelas. Rather than you have to do the box and everything, so we can see how many papers that you search and from where, is it from ASEAN or from the worldwide, and then how many papers that excluded and included, and what time, is it from 80s until now, or there is a time frame? You search? Yes, because you search from the Googles, if I'm not mistaken, okay, Google Scholar. So it starts from the 18th century until now, okay? So means that in your studies should be at a time frame, okay? Is it 20th century or something like that, all right? That's correct. The second one is, what is the gap of knowledge that you find in your searching? Apakah gap of knowledge ataupun jurang pengetahuan, okay, jurang pengetahuan yang awak dapat daripada melakukan systematic review?
Jadi dengan adanya melakukan systematic review, saya lebih bisa untuk mengcombine dari beberapa jurnal, kemudian akan saya reviewkan sesuai dengan kebutuhan ataupun sesuai dengan judul ataupun sesuai dengan apa yang sudah ada yang akan saya teliti.
Ya, yang saya faham itu apa itu systematic review, tapi dalam dia punya systematic review, apa yang jurang yang gap of knowledge yang you dapat, you baca semua paper, alright, from worldwide, apakah yang kata gap of knowledge, jurang pengetahuan yang tiada di Indonesia, right? Yang you kena buat study.
Mungkin lebih kepada pemahaman ataupun praktek yang tidak dilakukan oleh si manager of nurse tersebut.
Berapa banyak studi yang menyatakan bahawa praktik ataupun that the nurse manager is effective? Berapa banyak studi? Is there any studies from Indonesia?
Yes.
Yes. And then what is the result?
Eh, Kalau angka mungkin banyak yang sudah iya, peneliti yang diambil dari riset kan, dari studi eh, tiga, three.
Trees, okay? So that means that from Indonesia's view, okay, okay, the nurse manager is very effective.
Iya.
Then why you want to do the research about the nurse manager?
Eh,
What is the objective,
Yeah.
main objective that you would like to take?
Apakah misi Anda, objektif Anda
Ya.
for this research?
Misinya itu untuk for the effectivity managerial the nurse for the kinerja dari the nurse station itu sendiri.
Thank you, Dr. Suchi. Any more, Dr. Suchi? Okay, anyone from the audience that would like to ask any questions? Any questions from the audience? Okay, no question. So thank you very much, Dr. Suchi.
Terima kasih.
There's a
Assalamualaikum
question.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so those who have questions, please raise your hands up and wave to us. Okay, so with that, we shall proceed to the next speaker. Okay, seterusnya Dr. Ika Novita. Are you here? Okay, welcome. Okay, with her title Screening of Postpartum Blue on the 7th Day Eutharium. Am I right, Dr. Siti? Pronounce it right.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Ika Sari. I'm from Banten University. In University of Malaysia.
So maybe it's your Batam,
Yes.
or nearby us.
So now let's move on to the presentation by screening of postpartum blue on the 7th June. Okay, background. Over 17 and 18% of postpartum mothers experience mood or feeling disorder, this postpartum blues. And this condition is felt from 2-3 days postpartum and will generally disappear after 2 weeks postpartum. The incidence of postpartum blues and postpartum depression would rate is still relatively high. World Health Organization notes that around 20% of women experience postpartum blues disorder. The incidence of postpartum blues from a meta-analysis study of 26 research results from 13.7% to 76% prevalence. And the prevalence of postpartum blues in Asia is relatively high and varies between 18.5%. USAID, United States Agency for International Development, 2016 states the incidence of postpartum blues in Indonesia is 13.1 per 1,000 population. Indonesia is ranking for height in ASEAN after Laos and Cambodia. Next is the technique method. This study uses a quantitative descriptive method to describe the screening result for postpartum blues. The population in this study were postpartum mothers who gave birth in the working area of the Bala Health Center, and the sample reference to as respondents in this study were 19 postpartum mothers in the working area of the Bala Health Center who meet the inclusive criteria. And the sample was determined using a Gauss sampling technique. In this study, data collected was variant of using the MPS, identified postnatal depression scale questionnaire, the resulting that will be analyzing using univariate analysis. Screening postpartum blues
As seen in the diagram, there is a postpartum blues running with BDS questionnaires, so that more than half of postpartum their experience postpartum, namely 15.5% postpartum blues respondent. And then in comparison, those who continue to be likely to experience postpartum, postpartum or postpartum depression, 7.8%. And those who experience postpartum depression, 3.3%. Lack of assistance to new mother in adjusting positively and healthy to learn new roles, responsibility, and identities as mother choose emotional problem in the postpartum period. So, choose in postpartum blues. The result 2020 studies at the lack of social support is a risk factor for postpartum blues, and increasing social support postpartum mother can significantly reduce the risk of postpartum blues. The conclusion, more than half of the respondents experience postpartum blues, and some experience postpartum depression. The result of the screening can be used as the basis that every postpartum mother and to do early detection to new tests or preventive more severe conditions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ika. Dr. Siti?
Congratulations, Dr. It's very comprehensive presentation, right? But I have a few questions. Right? Why you choose the postpartum blue, not the postpartum popular perceptions? I mean, why you choose this topic, postpartum blues?
Because postpartum blues
Iya, boleh bahasa Indonesia boleh.
Thank you. Because postpartum blue yang pertama the first sebelum depresi. Jadi agar sebelum sampai ke depresi, ibu-ibu sudah menangani terlebih dahulu seperti itu.
But there is no mortality or morbidity regarding the postpartum blues among the postpartum mother. Am I right?
Yes, morbidity dari postpartum blues.
Yes. Okay. You give me your, statistics about the 31 over 1,000 population in Indonesia that have the postpartum blues.
No, big. Sebenarnya mungkin lebih banyak, cuman di area yang saya teliti,
Ya,
dapatnya segitu.
iya segitu. Tapi tahunnya 2016.
No.
The 31 daripada 1,000 populasi Indonesia, okay, mendapat postpartum blues. Tapi datanya 2016. Okay, 2016 sebelum COVID. Okay, adakah data-data terkini selepas COVID? Because COVID, kita tahu the impact of COVID, right? Yes. So I think you have to improve from that. Yes. So, okay. And the other one is about the EDPS, okay, questionnaire. EDPS is in English, alright?
Yeah.
So you translate to Indonesian.
Yes.
Yeah. What is the kelompok alpha? What is the kelompok alpha? Yeah. Alpha kelompok.
I'm sorry that
Ada reliability and validity of the question in Indonesia. I mean, translated. So,
questionnaire jadi sudah banyak yang meneliti PPDS, jadi saya ambil dari orang yang sudah meneliti di Indonesia. But saya konsultasi dengan psikolog untuk pertanyaan yang sudah ditranslate, apakah sudah memenuhi pertanyaan-pertanyaan untuk ibu?
iya, tapi adakah itu kamu buat pilot study? Yes, you do. And then what is the value of kelompok alpha?
I
Is it good or good? Okay, 0.7 and above. Okay, all right. Okay, for examples, okay, I want the last questions. Okay, sorry, I take a long time. Okay, what is your inclusion criteria for your study? Inclusion. How you choose your sample of the study? Because this is because you study about the postpartum blues. Right.
Inclusion di penelitian itu untuk ibu hari ke-7 persalinan.
Hari ke-7 persalinan.
Yes. Kemudian dalam kondisi kesehatan mental good.
Okay.
Kemudian tidak mengalami komplikasi dan complication.
No complication,
Yes.
for example, hemorrhage or sepsis.
Perdarahan.
Okay. As we know that postpartum blues is one of the problem in psychiatry. Okay. Adakah awak letakkan di dalam inclusion criteria ibu-ibu postnatal yang mempunyai orang kata sejarah psychiatry? Sejarah. So they want boleh affect your results. Okay.
Okay.
Alright. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Siti, for the very interesting questions. So please take this as a discussion. It would be nice to have more question and answer. So is there any burning question from the floor? Audiences? Okay, good. We have one. Oh, okay, fine. Any questions? Okay. Then thank you very much, Dr. Ika. Wish you all the best. Okay. Then we shall move on with our fifth presenter, Dr. Rulfia. Okay, Dr. Rulfia Desi Maria. Okay, with a presentation, the effectiveness of premarital counseling on pregnancy readiness. The floor is yours, Dr. Rulfia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody. The Honorable Dr. Siti Zuhaida Hussain and Dr. Melissa and the all participants. Okay, this time I want to present Melissa the effectiveness of premarital counseling on pregnancy readiness. Okay,
I hope presenters, you can share with us your organization or institute. Where are you from?
Okay, I'm from a student at Lincoln University and I'm from Prima Nusantara, West Sumatra, Indonesia. Okay, the background myself, according to the HWO, 41.8% of pregnant women over the world have anemia. Pregnancy preparation measures like nutrition management for pregnant women, mental readiness for pregnancy, physical examination and screening, and awareness of infectious disease that are at risk of transmitting to the fetus, for example, hepatitis, HIV, toxoplasma, and rubella. Can prevent complications with pregnancy and childbirth like bleeding brought on by enemy, prevent infection, and prevent birth defect. The preconceptional period can be associated with the preconceptional period because after marriage, the woman will soon undergo the process of conception. The preconception time is the time before pregnancy. The pre-receptive period is the range of time from 3 months to 1 year before conception, and ideally should include the time when the egg and sperm mature, that is about 100 days period to conception. The candidate reach is the right target in an effort to improve the health of the time before pregnancy. The candidate must prepare the reproductive health of both the prospective breed and the prospective breed to sow them. After marriage, they can have a good health status in order to produce a qualified generation. Premarital counseling is the profession of education on reproductive health, medical examination, immunization, and laboratory check. My theoretical framework, we look motivational determinant, knowledge and understanding about awareness of perinatal counseling, knowledge concept and aim of perinatal counseling, knowledge risk factor and preventive measure, general knowledge on body and pregnancy, perspective knowledge and prenatal counseling. The pregnancy-related determinant, one fertility, outcome previous pregnancy, future pregnancy plan, previous information on preparing for pregnancy, and general knowledge, perception hope. And the action is participation in premarital counseling. The method, it was a quasi-experiment study with one group pre and post-test design carried in January and until September 2022. The study population prenatal women in Sungai Padang Public Health Center. The sample 200 prenatal women were a sample of the study who were taken using a consecutive sampling method. The sample were one group pre and post test design. The result, the p-value 0.001. The discussion based on the result by different analysts with a p-value 0.001, meaning 0.05. There is a significant difference between pregnancy preparedness in the prospective rate on the data pre-test and post-test, meaning the risk and effectiveness of premarital counseling. Use feedback media again the preparation to face pregnancy in the future rate. The conclusion, healthy pregnancy planning advice should be given to couples who are planning to get married or pregnant with the aim of preparing for healthy pregnancy so as to minimize the risk of complication during pregnancy and childbirth. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Rufia. Okay, I have a few questions that I would like to get clarified. Okay, for Malaysia, when a couple are going to go for marriage, okay, so we are strongly encouraged, or I'm not sure now, they emphasize to do an HIV test. How about the terms and conditions in Indonesian side? Can you share with us?
Okay.
Here we must do a HIV test.
Okay.
Okay, it's a compulsory.
Maybe in Malaysia and in Indonesia it's there. HIV test is must be do it, but I want to look in my research is education, optimal education for prepare pregnancy. In Indonesia, we have a rule before marriage. We only check medical check, HIV and immunization. But the loss about education information about how to readiness to pregnant after marriage, because we know pregnant is short time to before after is married, and pregnant if the couple is ready and healthy is butuh need a short time to pregnant, so it must be prepared.
So what is your main objective in your study? What of your main questionnaire you use masa anda bagi pendedahan pada pre-marital counseling ini? Apakah soalan atau cara-cara pendedahan yang doktor gunakan untuk subjek-subjek doktor?
In counseling, we give education about prepare to pregnant. For example, about nutrition, about
Yeah, this is what I wanted to
Yes.
see. What are the aspect yang doktor memantau pada all your subjects? Either subject on emotional, nutrition, knowledge, or the economy and so on. Okay, you can share with us.
Okay, maybe in my research it just only knowledge and prepare about pregnant only one, but emotional and psychological and economical maybe in next research in my thesis because the research is based my thesis because in my thesis we can make preconception class. So this is based on my thesis next.
So this is your preliminary
Yes,
studies.
yes.
Okay, my next question is, you mentioned premarital counseling, right? You had 200 subjects.
Yes.
So pre and post, meaning who are these posts? That means already they married. From your initially, these are the same person who joined your studies. Then they married and they already have a child.
No. Maybe in counseling we give education, we give information. Before we look the pre-test, we we ask about education and about my questionnaire. After that, in this time, we give education. After that,
So you are doing actually an assessment study based on that. I think that one you need to emphasize in your methodology. Because the way you mentioned, it looks like after they got married, then you're assessing them pre and post, and you mentioned around 2022, the whole year you are happy. So you must mention it's actually a education based survey, the comparison that you do. Last but not least, I just want to ask, since I saw the word toxoplasma, it's related to me. So how do you do educate them on toxoplasma? Toxoplasma is a parasite infection.
yes,
Be very
toxoplasma.
careful with female who are pregnant.
Okay. Toxoplasma is important education for prenatal because toxoplasma can merusak the blastocista. So if you married, if before you married, you must check the toxoplasma because to prepare pregnancy health must free them about toxoplasma. So toxoplasma is pregnant. After pregnant, toxoplasma can walk in the blastula.
Okay, from maternal to the feces. So for just to share it, those who are not sure, toxoplasma is a parasite. It's a blood parasite that you get from cats. Okay, those who are cat lovers, so who likes to clean their litter box, there are high chances if your cats they go out, means with a stray cats not vaccinated, high chances to, especially for pregnant women, to get infected with this disease. So in Malaysia, it's very less. Right, doctor, and we don't actually screen them. So is it toxo an issue in Indonesia?
Maybe Sam. No, I don't know.
Because I saw that in your introduction in your
Yes,
extract.
height.
So toxoplasma also can cause mental illness.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Rufia. Any question on the floor? Any questions that you want to ask your friend? Okay. So I thought with that, thank you so much and wish you all the best for your studies. We shall move with the next presenter, Dr. Irma Nur Amalia. Amalia, right? Okay, with her interesting presentation, the effect of telemonitoring for preventing 30 days readmission among heart failure patients, a systemic review. Okay, with that, Doctor, you may proceed.
Okay, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning to the Honorable Dr. Siti Zuhaida and Dr. Nisa and also audience. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ilmanur Amalia. I'm a student from Lincoln University. I'm from Bandung, Indonesia. Today I will present the systematic review for my dissertation. The title is The Effect of Telemonitoring for Preventing 30 Days Reanimation Among Heart Failure Patients. The big one, as we know, that heart failure is clinical syndrome with different etiologies defined as condition in which the heart does not pump enough blood to meet the body's need. And the nature of heart failure with symptom of decrease in functional capacity over time with episode of acute decompensation, often leading to hospitalization, and it accounts for approximately 1% to 2% of healthcare expenditures. And after first admission, up to 50% of patients will be in acute condition within 6 months of discharge, and 45% will die within the first year. And hospitalization rates for heart failure continue to remain high, 23.2% within 30 days, with a median of hospitalization time of 12 days. And the goals of the treatment in patients with heart failure were to improve clinical condition, functional capacity, maintenance quality of life, and to prevent of reduce hospitalization. Future heart patient care programs based in hospital, homes, or community should have positive influence on heart failure patient self-care. In carrying out the program, nurses need to develop combined interventions such as providing health education through educational meeting, conducting home visit, and telemonitoring. Uh, the purpose of this systematic review is to describe how to implement effective telemonitoring to prevent or reduce 30 days readmission after patient discharge from hospital. And the methodology design is using the PRISMA and data source from several databases were collected from the following sources, such as Science Direct, ProQuest, EBSCO, BNC, ResearchGate, and Google Scholar. And the condition of publication between 2019 until 2022 and selected based on compatibility with keywords. And study selection or randomized control trial or quasi-experiment study with half adult patients will include patient diagnosis with HIF who have been recently discharged home. And the main outcome include rates of the 30 days readmission, telemonitoring intervention accessibility, heart failure related readmission, patient related to adherence, and self-care management in heart failure. And this is the step of study selection. First is screening, review exam, title, and abstract, and then importing to real-time studies obtained from stage 1 and topical framework. And step 3 is the quality assessment from all the article. The data abstraction, after examining and identifying the subset of primary literature that merit version criteria, and data synthesis and systematic review, result extract from individual research, and using review question using GBI critical appraisal. And then the research findings are represented in terms of them to ensure they capture all relevant data. This is the checklist for the RCT and quasi experiment from DBI critical appraisal. And this is the result. For all total article, there were full text article assessed for eligibility with total 75 article, and studies include in data synthesis is 16 article. There is full article exclude due to the following non-full text, and then not RCT or quasi experiment, not published in English, and then invasive telemonitoring did not report utilization and did not assess telemonitoring effect.
And this is the result of quality assessment using GPI critical appraisal. For the systematic review, there were 75.15%, and for the quasi experiment, um, it's about 85%. This is the study summary, include author and year, and then country, population, intervention, comparator, duration, and primary outcome. The discussion or study assess the effect of telehealth or telemonitoring using mobile application to prevent recognition. Intervention varied from the singular intervention, such as remote monitoring by phone, to comprehensive model, compound follow-up telephone, sensor or Bluetooth and digital access vital sign, also educational intervention. Almost research measure all cause of 30 days readmission or unscheduled emergency visit, and telemonitoring equipped with measurement tools has also proven effective in reducing the risk of readmission. Besides the readmission rate of heart failure, the use of telemonitoring also associated with self-care and quality of life. The limitation from my systematic review is few studies show that telemonitoring has no impact of heart failure patient recognition. Not all telemonitoring programs are acceptable and carried out easily by patient. And then the expect result of assessing effect the telemonitoring, not all procedures describe detail, such as method, duration, and measurement. Also, visibility of device. And then the include studies only cover in a few countries. And the conclusion for my systematic review is digital telemonitoring, including diary vital sign, educational program, and comprehensive follow-up visit can reduce all causes of 30 days readmission. Wearable device monitoring with sensor or Bluetooth proven to improve heart failure patient. And then a comprehensive telemonitoring also expected to increase the self-care and self-management by improving adherence and predetermined therapeutic regimens. With the systematic review expected to develop the telemonitoring models that is more effective to reduce 30 days readmission among heart failure patients. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Irma, to bring us into telemonitoring studies. Okay, so my first question to you, okay, what was the keywords that you used for literature search for meta-analysis?
Okay. The keyword using telemonitoring or telehealth or telemonitoring, telehealth or telenursing and readmission and 30 days readmission and pre-hospitalization.
But
And heart
since you,
failure.
yes, heart failure. So there are many type of heart failures in a different category, but generally we call it heart failure. So did you look into specific heart failure?
No.
So you
Not
look
at
in
all.
general.
Yeah, general heart failure.
Okay. So doing a systemic review meta-analysis, it will be easier for us if you use any particular software, especially for literature search, as we don't want to miss out any search. So did you use any particular software in your studies?
Not yet. No.
So you did this manually.
Okay.
Okay. So my suggestion, because once you publish, there might be some authors who say, "Oh, why my study is not included? In fact, I just did it many years." It could be the Google Scholar you're using or the EndNote software that you're using did not pick up that particular search. Okay. So next question, in your systemic review, how many years did you, or how many years timeline of paper did you research?
4 years. 2019 until 2022. 3 years.
So how many papers you got it that fulfill your inclusion criteria and exclusion criteria?
Total about 1,000.
So how many was selected here?
Selected 16. 16 include, yeah.
16 only.
Yeah.
16. Yeah. Okay. So what was the reason that so many others you have to push it out, exclude it?
Okay. Not all in the free program. And then many invasive talent monitoring, and then not all clear about the duration of talent monitoring, and then method, and then result of readmission.
So my suggestion is if your title is very broad,
Yeah.
so in a way you have to include, in my right, doctor, to have all these paper studies. Unless you want to go more specific, then you can eliminate. And also please find a software so you can get actually a good range of paper. Okay. Just my interest, let it be the last question. What actually the aspects they really studied in the telemonitoring papers? What did actually the authors do? I think that's what we want to know. What are the questions they ask the patients? How do they advise? And what exactly the agenda?
Yeah, I want to develop the mobile application with the comprehensive telemonitoring, such as there is follow up button maybe in the mobile application, so the telemonitoring program more comprehensive. Not only the measurement of vital sign or daily monitoring, but also with educational program, and then
So this
follow up.
telemonitoring includes when it's also counted the moment the patient comes to the hospital or only when they are away.
Yeah, discharge from the hospital.
Okay. So how do you take the vital signs? How do the authors do that?
Uh,
The vital signs. Okay, the vital sign, the health checkups. How do they capture?
the vital sign. The vital sign I will develop in the mobile. Maybe is the IT ya, artificial intelligence gitu, and then
With
the-
AI gadgets,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
it's possible.
Blood pressure and heart rate maybe, and then masuk dalam program
In the database, yes.
in the database.
We do actually have now on the walking, right? How many steps you walk? Okay, so something like that. You are developing. Okay, I wish you all the best for
Thank you.
future studies. Okay,
I have one question. Okay. In your review, do you add the AI, VR, and 3D or 4D technologies?
Yeah.
And AI, you know, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. VR,
No.
virtual reality. Nowadays it's
Okay,
very famous.
yes.
Okay, very famous in the health educations and also the monitoring. And about the 4D and 3D technologies, do you add inside your search? Because
Yeah.
because here you put the digital health monitoring, so therefore I ask.
Okay, doctor. Thank you
Okay,
very
thank
much.
you. Any questions from the floor? Okay, yes, we have now. Okay, your study is interesting. So many people asking questions.
My name is Camila. Miss Irma, I want to ask you about your article selected. What findings in 16 articles to improve patient health failure patient in your study? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ika. The finding is the program of telemonitoring using the visit or follow-up program is more effective to increase the self-care and reduce the 30 days readmission. So that harus improve in visit or follow-up in the telemonitoring. Is it enough, Mrs. Ika? Okay.
Thank you very much, the audience and also Dr. Emma. Okay, with that, I think we can move to the next presenter, Dr. Lina Herida, with her presentation entitled Effectiveness of Health Education in Controlling Perinatal Depression, a Systemic Review.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, my Honorable Dr. Siti Sumaida, my Honorable Dr. Mehrunisa. I am Lina Herida Pinam, student of PhD in Nursing Lincoln University from Stikas Mitra Keluarga, Jakarta, Indonesia. I will present my paper with title Effectiveness of Health Education in Controlling Perinatal Depression, a Systematic Literature Review. This is the introduction. Perinatal depression can occur in 10 to 15% of women from pregnancy to postpartum. Lack of knowledge about the process of pregnancy and childbirth is a factor that influences the incidence of perinatal depression. And a woman who having prenatal depression or increasing the risk of developing postpartum depression at 6 weeks after giving. Lack of knowledge about preparing for the role of motherhood, postpartum care, and newborn care are factors that cause postpartum depression. So, this show that education about pregnancy, childbirth, postpartum care, newborn care, and mental health is very, very important from the time of pregnancy. The objective from my study, this systematic literature review was conducted to know the effectiveness of health education in controlling perinatal depression, which will be assessed through the ABDS score. The systematic literature review was conducted using the PRISMA model by searching for articles for electronic database as Science Direct, Google Scholar, PubMed, and Savio. The inclusion criteria it's respondent mothers with perinatal depression, perinatal or postpartum depression, original article, control trial methodology or RCT, or quasi-experiment, article published from 2018 to 2033, and published in English, intervention in the form of education. I'm sorry, any mistake, not via telephone or via media. The exclusion criteria were journals older than 2018, a mother with acute scoliosis, and a lifetime history of depression. Based on the inclusion and exclusion criteria, through the process of extracting titles and abstract of articles, any 10 articles were obtained which entered the analysis station. And the result is the initial search found 2,283 articles, and after removing duplicate article by Mendeley, the number of article filter was 1,383, and then 10 articles met the inclusion criteria. All of these articles provide education to control postpartum depression. The educational materials provided are almost the same, include preparation for childbirth, care for pregnant women,
postpartum woman, baby care, and maternal mental health. The majority of educational methods use digital or online, use media in the form of booklets, videos, and text messages, and only one article use face-to-face education using PowerPoint media. The minimum intervention duration is 4 weeks, and the maximum is 4 months. The effectiveness of the intervention in reducing the ABDS score or improving the mental health of the mother was not significant in the two studies. A study showed that there was a significant difference in the ABDS score between the intervention and control groups. I'm sorry, it's not result, but conclusion. Health education carried out since pregnancy is effective in controlling perinatal depression and more effective if the intervention mixed with support social. And this is my reference. Me. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lina. Pass it to Dr. Siti.
Thank you, Doctor. It's a good research. Right. So I have a few questions, okay? What do you mean about the postpartum depression? Is it different with postpartum blues and postpartum psychosis?
Thank you, Dr. Siti. Postpartum depression difference with postpartum blues. Postpartum blues is
You can speak in Indonesia or bahasa Malaysia. I can understand both.
Yes. Postpartum blues is perasaan sedih atau suatu gangguan perasaan dari biasanya yang terjadi setelah melahirkan bayi. Setelah melahirkan bayi, dan ini bisa berlangsung sampai dengan 2 minggu. Tetapi postpartum blues ini dia bisa hilang dengan sendirinya. Sedangkan untuk depression postpartum, it's lebih berat. Kalau depresi postpartum dia sudah sampai merasa sangat sendiri, kemudian tidak konsentrasi, tidak peduli dengan bayinya, bahkan ada yang sudah sampai ke fase halusinasi, bahkan sampai melakukan suicide, violence to her baby. And psikosis postpartum is benar-benar gangguan mental yang memang tidak ada lagi sosialisasi dengan sekitarnya, dan sudah dilakukan perawatan di rumah sakit. Tidak bisa lagi berkontribusi untuk merawat bayi, dan tidak ada lagi interaksi dengan keluarga. Yes, Dr. Siti.
And my second question from your review, okay, you made the search in 2000 somethings, the journals, okay, the articles. What is the best method or the efficient methods that used in order to reduce the postpartum depression among the mothers?
Yes, thank you for your question, Dr. Siti. From 10 articles by my analysts, the model education, the base is a website mixed with social support. But any tool not significant is from text message education and telephone education, by telephone education. The best is the website and codes and support system.
You want to do this study in Indonesia?
Yes.
Yes. Is it that method can use, possibility can use, boleh digunakan di Indonesia?
Yes, and I will make one application website to use in medicine.
Means that you develop one database and one website.
Yes.
Okay, that the patient in Indonesia, for example, for the rural patient can access.
Can, because in Indonesia every mother was have handphone Android, so
Means
they
means
can.
that the mobile application.
Yes.
Alright, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Siti. Any questions from the audience? Anyone have questions? Okay, no questions. With that, thank you very much, Dr. Lina. We wish you all the best for your future studies.
Thank you.
Okay. So, dear audience, we shall move on with our eighth presenter, Dr. Fia Dinyanti, Dr. Fia, with her presentation entitled Determination and Prevalence of Hepatitis B in Multi-Gravida Pregnant Women in Bengkulu, Indonesia.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Dr. Siti and Dr. Nisa. My name is Pia Diniarti. I come from Bengkulu, Indonesia. Today, I will present to my research on the title Determinant and Prevalence of Hepatitis B in multi-gravida pregnant women in Bengkulu, Indonesia. Hepatitis B infection is a public health problem that affects nearly one-third of the population worldwide. The WHO estimates that 296 million people were living with chronic hepatitis B infection, with 1.5 million new infections each year. In 2019, hepatitis B result in 820 deaths, mostly due to cirrhosis and hepatocellular carcinoma. In highly endemic areas, hepatitis is most often spread from mother to child at birth, perinatal transfusion. Indonesia is a country with high hepatitis B, and is the second one in the South Asian country after Myanmar. Case of hepatitis B in pregnant women in Bengkulu, 2022, 74 cases. Research object to determine risk factor is history of childbirth, history of blood transfusion, education, and knowledge. To determine the dominant factor of hepatitis B incident in multi-gravida pregnant. Material and method. This study use case control design is to sample who were diagnosed positive for hepatitis B as many as 74, and control group was respondent suspect of negative hepatitis B. Data analysis, descriptive analysis, chi-square, multiple regression logistic. Disease result, table 1, respondent characteristic, 8, history of type of childbirth, history of youth, education and knowledge. This prevalence of hepatitis, high prevalent hepatitis B is Bengkulu profile is table 3 risk factor for hepatitis B in multi-gravida pregnant woman. In table 4, dominant factor of hepatitis B incident in multi-gravida pregnant woman. Its result discussion result. First time, married at less 90 years is a risk of apprehending hepatitis B incident in multi-gravida pregnant woman by 2.8 times compared to first time married at respondent more than 19 years. Study literature, the result of this study, supported by the NANDO in Indonesia, so meaning that married mother under the age of 90 years are 5.2 times more likely to be infected with hepatitis B.
According to Indriani in Indonesia, reproductive organ of mother who are not all enough are still not ready to face pregnant even though they are psychically healthy, so they can be at risk for mother and baby. Number two, history of blood transfusion is at risk of experience hepatitis B in incident in multigravid pregnant women by 3.7 times compared to respondents who do not have the history of blood transfusion. Supported by systematic review research and meta-analysis from Alemu in Ethiopia, is a meaning that history of blood transfusion is 5 times at risk of HPV infection. And history of vaginal birth delivery is at risk and experiencing the incident of hepatitis B in multigravida pregnant women by 3.7 times compared to respondents who have a history of cesarean section delivery. The result, supported by Yang M in China, uh, is found indicating a statistically significant reduction in vertical transmission of HPV by cesarean section compared to vaginal delivery. The study was also supported by Chang. Cesarean section lowered the chain of HPV transmission. Is supported by Pan, United States, America, United States, is 11 cesarean section for HbA1c positive mother with prenatal HBV DNA waiver but may reduce vertical transmission. Is low result number four. Low education is as risk of increasing the incidence of hepatitis B in multigravida pregnant women by 2.7 times compared to respondents who have high education. Is supported by Peter in Indonesia and middle education responded are risk to 4.9 being infected with hepatitis B. According to KBDKM in Ethiopia, is found people who have a high level of education usually have better knowledge, so they are more likely avoid disease. Metapharia, Southern Ethiopia is formal education are 3 times more likely to be infected with HPV than those who have complete and less secondary. And knowledge is less risk of hepatitis B in a multi-carbonate pregnant woman to 9 times compared to respondents who have good knowledge. Is relation between knowledge and the incidence of hepatitis B in pregnant. In support data on Maret 2018, maaf 2018, knowledge is also related to the mother decision determinant. Conclusion, risk factor associated with the incidence of hepatitis B in pregnant women are of first marriage, history of childbirth, history of blood transfusion, education, and knowledge. The dominant factor in study was history of blood transfusion. This is output my research. I number one, I one book, hepatology disease, and this letter register from Ministry Law and Human Being from Indonesia. That's all presentation. Thank you attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fia, for your interesting presentation and your achievement for writing the book. Okay. So my question for you will be, first of that, is it you're doing a literature review study or you did your research by yourself? Okay.
Reply, Doctor?
Yes.
This my research multigravida. Multigravida is a woman has been
Okay. My question is, study ni systemic review ke atau doktor buat kajian sendiri?
kajian sendiri quantitative research.
So because in your explanation you are doing a lot of literature review. So can we know more on your studies that you did? How many total population did you choose?
Total population 100.
48 these two sample cases and control. Cases is hepatitis HBsAg positive and controlnya is pregnant woman HBsAg negative.
Okay, suspect. So, but all are multigravidia patients.
Yes, multigravida. Why I use multigravida? Because pre-studies linearity found many pregnant women with hepatitis B in Bengkulu is multigravida.
So, my next question will be something related to this. So, we know there are several risk factors involved in getting hepatitis B, especially in a married woman. Okay, so in your studies, did you actually capture? Did they have multiple partner? I mean, more than one. Because hepatitis B, one of the risk factor is, maybe Dr. Siti also agree with me, it has multiple sexual partner. So did you capture that data in your multi-gravidia patient? Did you capture? No.
No, because the next my research because this part on the research my dissertation is I can in my dissertation.
So yes, the other risk factors I do agree, the age,
Yes.
19 years and below, low education and so on. But usually when we looked at pregnant women, one of the main issues is because either could be blood transfusion or they have more than one sexual partners.
Okay.
This is one of the main risk factor for this virus transfusion. Hepatitis B is happy, so I would say. Okay. So that's all from me. Dr. Siti, anything you want to add on?
Sorry. Do you ask any factor influencing that woman gets the hepatitis B? Did you ask any question? For example, faktor influencing, apakah faktor-faktor yang menyebabkan dia mendapat HIV ataupun bagaimana?
Risk factor hepatitis B is we know is blood transfusion.
Ya. Okey. Adakah awak bertanya di dalam, adakah awak menyoal, adakah kamu bertanya dengan responden kamu tentang faktor-faktor yang menyebabkan dia mendapat HIV?
Yes. Ketika saya tanyakan ke pasien ya, ke respondennya is the drug is a risk factor hepatitis B because in Bengkulu sampai hari ini hepatitis B hanya fokus kepada pemeriksaan pregnant woman, tapi bukan dengan semua wanita usia subur.
Iya. Ya, adakah dalam soalan kajian kamu, kamu ada tulis faktor-faktor risiko yang menyebabkan dia dapat hepatitis? Ada? Ada. Apakah faktor yang utama di Bengkulu yang menyebabkan ibu-ibu itu ada hepatitis daripada kajian kamu?
History hepatitis
Family.
Yes.
Family maksudnya ibu, bapa ataupun suami?
Partner, son, husband, and parent.
And parents.
Yes.
Do you ask the social social factors about that patient? For example, that patient is sebelum ini dia adalah pelacur, apakah itu?
It's not.
You tak soal about the social.
No, I did ask with respondent because I asked with respondent you work in where is ibu rumah tangga.
Oh, okay. Then after that, did you ask how many partners do you have?
Yes, already partner one partner.
Oh, and then you ask a questionnaire or interview because this is very sensitive issue.
Yes,
Right? And did you ask in by questionnaire or face-to-face interview?
Yes.
Which one? Awak soal mulut kah atau
Yeah,
awak gunakan
face to
questionnaire?
face.
Face to face.
Yeah, face to face. Face to face responden and
Okay, okay, dua saja, tak ada
Ya.
suami
tak ada. Okay. Kecuali kalau misalkan dia memang suami mau ikut. Face to face.
Do you think that one ada bias dalam research?
Kalau
Because it's
dalam
face to face.
ya kalau misalnya dalam riset saya bias itu tidak ada karena saya hanya menanyakan berapa usia pernikahannya, kemudian riwayat blood transfusionnya, kemudian saya hanya bertanya terkait dengan riwayat persalinannya, kemudian education and knowledge.
So is that in conclusion, you tak tanya langsung tentang the social parts. I mean, yes, the social factor.
No, because kita punya pernyataan responden. Pada saat sebelum saya bertanya, saya berikan surat pernyataan responden bahwa di sana sudah saya tegaskan saya tidak bertanya hal yang lain, hanya dengan fokus dengan penelitian saya biar supaya tidak menyinggung perasaannya si responden. Gitu. Because setelah ini after that kemungkinan akan saya lanjutkan lagi penelitian.
I suggest you want interview, one-to-one interview, but orang kata bukan di dalam klinik, because selalunya kita tak nak cerita, this is very sensitive. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Siti, and also Dr. Fia. Any questions from the floor? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, with that, we shall move. I wish you all the best in your further studies, Dr. Fia, and you can take in some of the suggestions that we give you. Okay, next let's welcome Dr. Yeni Ishwari. Dr. Yeni Ishwari, she is going to bring us into the topic of obesity, parents' involvement in the prevention and management of obesity in school children, a systemic review. Okay, obesity also a main concern in Malaysia. Nowadays, when you are entering students to the primary kid, you have to give a medical check whether they're obese or not. And parents are doing it.
Good morning, everyone. Honorable Dr. Siti Junaida and Honorable Dr. My name is Yeni Swati from Jakarta, Indonesia. I want to present my article entitled Parent Involvement in the Prevention and Management of Obesity in Children. Introduction, obesity in children is the health problem that needs attention because the incident rate increase yearly. The impact of obesity on children will affect their physical and psychosocial development. They are at a high risk of becoming obese in adulthood and have the potential to experience various cases of morbidity and death. Prevention and handling efforts are needed to overcome violence by involving parents. A parent can influence children. The children work through feeding practice and physical activity through a good parenting style so that they can monitor the development of overweight in childhood. Parents must take the initiative to provide a food that can fulfill children's nutrition. Parents play an essential role in influencing children's lifestyle and eating behavior, contributing to disease incidents. My objective of study, this study aims to determine the involvement of parents in preventing and managing obesity in school children. My methodology in research. This is a systematic review, exploration studies aimed at preventing obesity in school 8 children took the parent-centered intervention with school-age children sick until the 12 years. The database comes from PubMed, ScienceDirect, Google Scholar, and EBSCO. A search article published from the 218 up to 223 that use intervention to prevent or reduce obesity. This keyword from searching in database, parent involvement, prevention, management, obesity in children. Search on database management on stage identified from the PubMed, the number article organizing verified for PubMed are, I'm sorry, this is 122, not 24. ScienceDirect 7, Google Scholar and 23, and EBSCO 12. This is the inclusion criteria. Respondent parents, school-age children, sick until the 12 years, qualitative and quantitative research methods, control trial methodology or RCT, published from 218 for the 223. Result my article. Based on the third result of article at the identification stage, 194 article after screening based on inclusion and exclusion criteria on 10 article meet the analysis. Conclusion, my article, the intervention for prevention and management, which include dietary modification, physical activity practice, behavior strategies, and active involvement of parents, can help overcome childhood obesity, especially in school-age children. However, the active involvement of parents is needed to improve and seek the intervention. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yeni Ishwari. Okay. My question will be, okay, this is a systemic review.
Yes.
So you studied for how many years? 20, 19 or 18? Your review, the literature that you choose is from? Pilihan literature anda dari tahun mana ke tahun mana?
From 218 until the 223.
2018 to 2023.
Yes.
So why is such a short range of years did you choose? Kenapa anda tidak ambil literature maybe dari earlier than that? 20, maybe 2000, 2005, 2010, or like 2023 boleh ambil dalam in range of 10 years, right? We can go to 2030. Mengapa anda choose from 2018 to 2023?
I choose years of 5 years because data yang saya ambil untuk terbaru terkini dari hasil artikel yang dipublish.
So this is a systemic review.
Yes.
Tapi the objective anda kena include the word of systemic review because in the objective you didn't mention it's a systemic review. Okay. So in 2018 till 2023 this year, so this literature did you narrow down to only Indonesian studies atau seluruh dunia? Seluruh dunia. So your data, can you come to a conclusion how that actually helps if you want to manage it in Indonesia? Adakah obesity issue di Malaysia, di Indonesia?
Untuk isu obesity in children in Indonesia, from the data I've searched, obesity in Indonesia, terutama untuk di anak, ya, anak usia sekolah, school children, meningkat atau cukup tinggi ya dengan berbagai dari beberapa hasil saya baca dari beberapa artikel, jurnal dan referensi bahwa angka kejadian obesitas pada anak, terutama anak usia sekolah itu meningkat setiap tahunnya, walaupun di beberapa tahun ada terjadi penurunan, tetapi pasca COVID mungkin dengan adanya aktivitas yang kurang pada anak karena harus di rumah, terus ya pola makan yang atau behavior atau diets pada anak ini menjadi perhatian yang cukup mengkhawatirkan juga karena juga akan meningkatkan angka obesitas pada anak.
So di literature Anda, adakah literature yang Anda ambil dari negara Indonesia? In your systemic review, is there any study in Indonesia?
Untuk dari beberapa artikel kemarin memang dari hasil searching baik dari PubMed, EBSCO, Google Scholar, tidak ada di Indonesia, kebetulan dari negara lain.
So, adakah faktor-faktor yang conclusion yang ni mungkin juga berkaitan dengan isu kadar peningkatan obesity di Indonesia?
Dari isu-isu dari hasil conclusion atau hasil artikel yang saya temukan, memang dari beberapa artikel atau jurnal yang ada di Indonesia, yang research di Indonesia, di obesity pada anak usia sekolah itu, intervensi-intervensi yang memang ada dari hasil conclusion ini juga menjadi faktor-faktor juga yang mempengaruhi angka obesitas pada anak ini meningkat.
So mainly I think is on the pemakanan lah.
Yeah.
So maybe in your studies next time you can assure recommendations to include exercise, physical activity and so on. Okay, thank you. Any questions from the floor? Okay, one question from the floor. Okay.
You kata di dalam systematic review yang you buat ni tiada langsung articles from Indonesia. Okay, where is the articles from Indonesia yang selalu dipublish? Kalau you ambil Google Scholar, any of journal without the high impact or whatever journal, okay, yang ada ISI mesti ada di dalam Google Scholar. Alright, I mean because West and kata di negara Barat dan di negara kita di Asia, kita punya cara hidup adalah berbeza. This is obesity, okay? Alright, cara makan and cara semua sekali sangat berbeza. Okay, mereka ada 4 musim, kita ada 2 musim. Mereka makan roti, kita makan nasi. Okay, kita makan singkong. Alright, kita makan lemak. Alright, that's very different. I think you have to kata tambahkan sedikit that Google Scholar tu you cari the keywords Indonesia. You put the Indonesia first, then obesity is in children, school children. I think that banyak sebab if your focus studies is Indonesia. If you use the data from the US, itu tak signifikan sangat. I mean the value dia kurang sikit untuk negara kita.
BMI kita berbeza.
Yes.
Negara Barat, negara Asia, BMI is a different calculation.
Alright, because you want to do the obesity, so we have to buat BMI the children first, then you do the prevention. And the other one, okay, I suggest, okay, I think overall the systematic review, you use the PubMed, ScienceDirect, Google Scholar. Why not you include the Scopus and also WS? Where sebab this dua ini adalah high impact journal, which the validity and reliability dia sangat tinggi. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Siti, for the important advice. And Dr. Yeni, my suggestion, not only for you, but those who are doing a systemic review meta-analysis, try to find a software, the actually CAW software and so on, which will help you to filter out the literature related to your key topic, key points. So nobody will question you that, oh, you left out this journal, are you showing any bias? So this is important, especially when you do a publication. Okay, so with that, thank you so much, Dr. Yeni. We wish you all the best. Okay, last but not least, we would like to welcome Dr. Rina Junita. Absent. Oh, okay. So let me finish on time. Okay. So she was actually going to present and share with us the modification via matrix splitting to solve two-dimensional nonlinear porous media equations. More to modeling, I think. She couldn't make it. Any recorded session she gave? Pre-record ke? Visual record? Oh. Okay. Then with that, thank you so much. Whatever suggestion we give you, take it positively, and wish you all the best for your future studies. And also, I'd like to thank Dr. Siti to join me here and to give comments on your presentation. Then I think it's time we pass back to the chair ladies. The two pretty chair ladies here. I know all are getting hungry for your lunch, our lunch.
I would like to invite Dr. Ashuta to give an appreciation token to our chairperson. So I would like to invite Dr. Siti Zuhaida Hussein. Dr. Meru Nisha. And all participants, please come forward for the photo. And the chairperson, together with the chairperson.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Up. Video. Ready? 1. Bye. Thank you. Alright. Thank you.
Anyone from University of Australia, Dr. Becca? Yeah, because I'm a private lecturer from University of Australia. Every time I give them one lecture. Come together. Yes. Yes, I think he's from
Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 6. Alright. Okay.
Thank you. Sure, welcome.
feel that